Hey guys, another 2019 season win total projection, this time the Georgia Bulldogs. If you're unfamiliar with our service, College Football Unlimited is a player rating driven score model mostly used for sports bettors. We use a roughly 13,000 player database that feeds into each team's power rating. Those power ratings are then used in the simulator to generate a score when considering the neutral site indicator as well as situational conditions such as look ahead, let down, sandwich, or Super Bowl spots. So with that said, what we'll do in these videos is simulate each game on the team schedule, and we'll record the win probability for them on the far right hand side for that and tally it up for an overall season win total projection. So we'll go ahead and start with week 1 for Georgia at Vanderbilt. Obviously they're a 90% favorite here, so we'll go ahead and tally them up on the right hand side. Game number 2, they'll have FCS opponent Murray State. The matchup simulator only uses FBS teams, so Murray State will not be accessible in the simulator, so we'll go ahead and provide that simulation at 99.98%. Game 3, Georgia gets to stay home against Arkansas State. They'll be 97.21% favorites in week 3. Then in week 4, one of the biggest out-of-conference games in all of college football in 2019, Notre Dame will come to town. Notre Dame's a solid team coming into Georgia, but at this point we still have them as a 9 to 10 point underdog to Georgia. So we'll go ahead and log their 68% chance to win against Notre Dame. They'll get a bye week before traveling to Tennessee. This will be a big game for Tennessee, but Georgia is definitely in front of them from a talent perspective. They'll be 3 touchdown favorites still on the road and have an 86% chance at winning. They'll then get to go home and play South Carolina. I love what Jake Bentley's done for the Gamecocks minus the turnovers, but as we sit today, 19-point line and Georgia with an 83% chance to win. Georgia stays home and gets Kentucky. There'll be 3 touchdown favorites here and an 86% chance to win. They'll then get a bye week before the massive yearly matchup against Florida in Jacksonville. As you can see, we'll go ahead and mark the neutral site indicator and the score will drop from 11.5 down to roughly 9. So Georgia will be favored by 9 points and have a 67% chance at winning against Florida. We'll take the neutral site indicator off in preparation for Missouri coming to town. Sneaky game with Missouri here matched up between Florida and Auburn. More times than not, this will qualify as a sandwich spot between 2 huge games for Georgia with Florida and Auburn. With that said, don't be surprised if the game's closer to a 7 to 10 point margin when the game's actually played. But as we sit today, we'll take the sandwich spot off and the win probability will go up from 69% up to 80% in this game. Georgia then will travel to Auburn. Georgia fans, you know how tough it is to play at Auburn. That's because more times than not, this is Auburn's Super Bowl. And instead of having a 10-point line, we're looking closer to a 3 or 4 point line. So as always, we won't have any situational conditions being factored into the season win total here. But don't be surprised if this game's closer than we expect at this point in the year. So we'll end up having Georgia as a 69% favorite to beat Auburn. Things don't get easier. Georgia gets to go home, but they have Texas A&M coming to town. This is the epitome of why college football is great and why there are so many upsets. Georgia is clearly a better team, but coming off the Auburn game where they're 68% favorites and possibly in a hostile environment, you could easily see Georgia coming off on a letdown spot in that rivalry matchup. And instead of it being a double-digit game, the line and finish for this game could be closer to a touchdown, which can easily go either way when it comes to college football. So with that said, we'll go ahead and apply Georgia's win percentage of 72%, and we'll finish with matching up Georgia on the road at Georgia Tech. Of course, there'll be big favorites here, a 91% chance at winning as almost 4 touchdown favorites. This brings the season win total projection for Georgia to 9.92. We'll round up to 10 in this case, But keep in mind, this 10 is a very soft 10, considering Georgia's going to be favored in every single one of their games this year. On top of the fact that I think that we have Georgia rated third behind Clemson and Alabama. So the Vegas line of roughly 10.5 probably isn't a bad line. The 10 to 11 win range, while a safe bet, is definitely an accurate one. Swing games like Notre Dame, Florida, Missouri, Auburn, and Texas A&M, none of these 5 games are easy tests. So that explains the a little bit lower number than what most Georgia fans are expecting. I know most Georgia fans are expecting the 11 to 12 win season, but our goal is to indicate how difficult this schedule really is, and I think many outside of the SEC would be taken aback at how difficult the Florida, Missouri, at Auburn, and Texas A&M stretch of games will be, on top of their out-of-conference schedule with Notre Dame. So that explains why the season win total number is a little lower, but also considering they'll be favorites in every single game. So big season coming up for Georgia and Georgia fans. Good luck to you guys. As always, guys, we appreciate any of the love you spread for us. Any likes or posts to your message boards is greatly appreciated. As you can see, we do have a preseason trial access period going on right now up until the beginning of the season. If you like what you see and you enjoy the hypothetical matchup simulator, give it a look. All we need is an email. So that'll be an easy way for you to get access on top of viewing our other services like matchup analysis, weekly recap videos, and weekly wagering videos. Those are resources that those of you that are bettors will enjoy. So give it a look. Hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, please reach out. And as always, guys, take it easy until next time.